Once you reach the age of 60, life starts to transform in ways you never imagined. Some people embrace this new chapter with open arms, discovering more energy, deeper happiness, and a stronger sense of fulfillment than ever before. But for others, it's a different story. They wake up each day feeling empty, unmotivated, and uncertain about what the day will bring. It's not because they've done anything wrong, but because something crucial is missing. And no, it's not just a matter of luck. The difference between those who flourish and those who struggle lies in a few essential factors, elements that support your health, your mindset, and your emotional well-being. In this chapter of life, there are certain things you simply must have if you want to thrive instead of just exist. In this video, we're going to explore 5 of those must-haves. 5 powerful essentials that are often overlooked until it's too late. These aren't luxury items or far-off dreams. They're the very foundations of a joyful, healthy, and meaningful life after 60. Without them, days can feel hollow. Life can become frustrating, isolating, and even unhealthy. But when you put these essentials into place, something shifts. Life becomes more vibrant. Each day feels more meaningful. You wake up with purpose, peace, and something to look forward to. So stay with me until the very end, because the final point we'll explore is the one most people ignore until one day they realize they've lost a part of themselves. But by then, it can be much harder to get it back. Let's begin. 1. A strong sense of purpose. Reaching your 60s often means entering a completely new rhythm. For years, sometimes decades, your days were shaped by clear roles and responsibilities. You raised a family, built a career, paid the bills, and managed a household. There was structure. There was meaning. There was a sense of identity attached to what you did. But what happens when the kids grow up and leave home? When retirement begins and the to-do lists disappear? For many, this sudden shift brings more than just free time. It brings a quiet, creeping feeling of emptiness. And that's why having a strong sense of purpose is not just helpful. It's absolutely essential. Without purpose, the days can blur together. Motivation fades. Even physical health begins to decline. Why? Because the mind and body are deeply connected. When your mind lacks direction, the body follows. Now, ask yourself, when you open your eyes in the morning, what drives you to get up? Are you filled with excitement for the day ahead? Or do you stare at the ceiling wondering what to do with your time? Studies have shown again and again that people who have a clear sense of purpose not only live longer, they live better. They experience lower rates of depression, higher energy levels, and even reduced risk of chronic illnesses. But purpose doesn't have to be something grand or complicated. Think about someone like Richard. He retired at 65 after decades in the finance world. At first, he loved the freedom, the late mornings, the slow pace, but within a few months, the novelty wore off. He began to feel adrift, like something important had gone missing. That's when he started volunteering at a local mentorship program for young professionals. Instantly, he had a reason to get up in the morning again. His energy returned. His brain stayed sharp. But most importantly, he felt useful. And that feeling changed everything. Your purpose might come from mentoring, teaching, creating, helping others, spending time with your grandchildren, or finally learning that skill you always put off. It might be as simple as tending a garden or writing down your life stories. What matters is that you care about it, that it gives you a reason to look forward to tomorrow. Without a purpose, life after 60 can feel like you're slowly fading into the background. But with it, each day becomes a gift. a chance to grow, to contribute, and to feel truly alive. And the beauty is, it's never too late to discover a new purpose. Even if you feel lost today, tomorrow can be the beginning of something powerful. 2. Meaningful social connections. One of the biggest challenges people face after 60, often without even realizing it, is social isolation. You might not think it's a problem at first. Retirement removes daily interactions with colleagues, longtime friends move away, children and grandchildren get caught up in their own busy lives, and slowly the phone stops ringing. Days grow quieter. You tell yourself you enjoy the peace, and maybe, at first, you do. But too much solitude can become dangerous. A lack of deep, meaningful human connection is more than just an emotional burden. It takes a serious toll on your physical and mental health. Research shows that chronic loneliness is as harmful to the body as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. It increases the risk of heart disease, weakens the immune system, and even raises the chances of developing dementia. And yet, most people don't notice it happening. They adapt, they withdraw, they say, "I'm fine, I don't need anyone." But inside, something starts to fade. Joy becomes harder to find, conversations become rare, and slowly, life feels smaller. Take Margaret, for example, a 72-year-old widow who spent most of her time alone after her husband passed away. At first, the quiet felt like a relief. No schedules, no demands, just freedom. But over time, she started to feel empty. She no longer laughed the way she used to. Her hobbies no longer excited her. She began to feel invisible. Then, one day, she joined a walking group at a nearby park. At first, she barely spoke to anyone, just polite smiles and quiet walks. But week by week, something changed. She started chatting with others. She laughed again. She made new friends. And suddenly, life felt warm again. That's the power of connection. And it doesn't have to mean constant socializing. It's not about how many people you know. It's about having people who truly see you, who check in, who remember your stories, who make you feel that your presence matters. You don't need to wait for someone to knock on your door. Be the one who calls. Join a book club. Volunteer. Reconnect with an old friend. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable at first, but the joy that comes from one genuine conversation, one real connection, can reignite your spirit. Life was never meant to be lived alone, and after 60, connection isn't just comforting, it's vital. 3. Physical strength and mobility. As we move into our 60s and beyond, one thing becomes clear. Your freedom is directly tied to your physical strength and mobility. Many people mistakenly believe that feeling weaker or slower is just a natural part of aging. But in reality, most of that decline comes not from age, but from inactivity. It doesn't happen overnight, it's gradual. First, you notice you get tired more quickly. Then, stairs feel steeper than they used to. You find yourself taking breaks more often, avoiding long walks, or struggling to lift things you once handled with ease. And one day, a simple trip or slip reminds you that your body isn't as responsive as it once was. But here's the truth. You can do something about it. Strength and flexibility can be rebuilt at any age. Take Paul, a 68-year-old who had always been active. After retiring, he thought he'd earned the right to rest. He stopped exercising, and at first, it didn't seem to matter. But slowly, his muscles weakened. His knees ached in the mornings. He struggled to rise from chairs, and one day, he stumbled on the front steps. Not because of the stairs, but because his legs couldn't react quickly enough. That moment changed everything. It wasn't just about balance, it was about independence. So, what can you do? Start small, a 20-minute walk each day, gentle leg lifts while watching television, light hand weights for arm strength. These might sound simple, but they build the foundation of your mobility and protect your freedom. The goal isn't to become a bodybuilder. It's to stay capable, self-reliant, and free to live the life you want. And don't underestimate the long-term effects. Maintaining muscle strength improves not just movement, but your metabolism, your energy levels, and even your immune function. The less muscle you have, the more your body slows down. And when your immune system weakens, recovery from illness or injury takes longer. So don't wait for a wake-up call like Paul's. Start now, start slow, but start. 4. Financial stability and peace of mind. For many people in their 60s and beyond, the biggest source of stress isn't health, it's money. Even those who planned carefully, saved diligently, and worked their entire lives can feel overwhelmed. Because retirement doesn't mean expenses disappear. In fact, they often rise. Medical bills, home repairs, unexpected emergencies, they all add up. And when financial worry takes root, it doesn't stay in your wallet. It seeps into your sleep, your relationships, your health, and your peace of mind. Take Barbara, for example. At 70, she thought she was financially secure. She'd saved, budgeted, and lived within her means. But when a sudden roof repair and a large medical bill hit within months, her savings took a heavy blow. The anxiety that followed wasn't just about numbers. Every expense became a source of tension. Every unexpected bill felt like a threat. It wasn't just financial, it was emotional. But here's the good news. Financial peace is possible, even later in life. Start by taking inventory. Sit down and go through your finances. What do you have? What do you owe? What might future expenses look like? Clarity is power. When you know where you stand, you can plan without fear. Then, look for leaks. Many people overpay for subscriptions, services, or insurance they no longer use. Trimming just a few unnecessary expenses can free up funds for the things that truly matter, or provide a safety net for emergencies. If you're worried about your savings lasting, consider a side income. Some retirees consult part-time. Others sell handmade crafts or offer tutoring. Even a small income can create breathing room, and sometimes even a renewed sense of purpose. Also, don't ignore long-term care planning. Medical costs are one of the biggest burdens in later years. Having a strategy, whether it's through insurance, savings, or public programs, can ease your mind and protect your future. Because ultimately, financial stability isn't about wealth, it's about security. It's about waking up without fear, knowing that your life is still your own, and that you won't have to sacrifice your dignity, your comfort, or your independence. 5. Personal growth and lifelong curiosity. There's a dangerous myth that says, after 60, the best years are behind you, that it's time to settle, slow down, and stop striving. But here's the truth. When you stop growing, you start fading. The mind, like the body, needs exercise. It needs stimulation, novelty, and challenge. And when that stops, something inside begins to dim. Life loses color. Days become predictable. And the spirit of curiosity slowly disappears. Yet the people who stay sharp, joyful, and inspired well into their 70s and 80s, they all have one thing in common. They never stop learning. Take Thomas, a 74-year-old retired engineer. After decades of solving problems, building systems, and thinking critically, retirement felt empty. He missed the challenge, the engagement, the joy of discovery. Then, one day, almost on a whim, he signed up for a basic woodworking class at the community center. It started small, learning to cut, shape, and build. But soon, he was crafting furniture for his grandchildren, then selling pieces at local markets. But most importantly, he had a reason to wake up excited again. Learning gave him back his spark. You don't need to go back to school. You don't need to chase degrees. But you do need to stay curious. Read new books, try new recipes, pick up a musical instrument, learn a new language. Even simple brain games and puzzles can light up areas of the brain that otherwise lie dormant. And here's the surprising part. Curiosity actually protects your brain. Studies show that lifelong learning lowers the risk of dementia and slows cognitive decline. It keeps you mentally flexible, socially engaged, and emotionally resilient. And it gives you something else too: hope. When you're learning, you're looking forward. You're investing in the future. You're proving to yourself and the world that it's never too late to grow. So ask yourself, when was the last time you felt that thrill of discovery? The joy of figuring something out? The pride of doing something new? If it's been a while, maybe now is the perfect time to rediscover that side of you. So, let's take a moment to reflect. We've covered 5 essential pillars for thriving after 60. A strong sense of purpose, meaningful social connections, physical strength and mobility, financial stability, and personal growth through lifelong curiosity. These are not luxuries. They are the core ingredients of a life well lived. Without them, life can feel like it's slipping through your fingers. But with them, each day becomes a chance to grow, to connect, to explore, and to enjoy the rewards of everything you've worked for. So ask yourself honestly, do you wake up with a reason to smile? Do you feel supported and seen by others? Are you keeping your body active and strong? Do your finances give you peace, not pressure? And most importantly, are you still learning? If the answer to any of these is no, don't worry. Change can start today. Even small steps can lead to massive shifts over time. Because life after 60 isn't an ending, it's a beginning. One filled with freedom, wisdom, and new opportunities. Thank you for being here. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Tell us what spoke to you most and how you plan to apply it to your life. And if this video inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear these words. Your journey matters, and it's only just getting started.